In the dense forest, a man races through clutching a gun tightly in his trembling hand, his fear palpable. Soon, his companion, another thief, catches up to him. They confront their fears as they venture into a dangerous area infested with snakes. One thief hesitates while the other presses forward. Amidst their trepidation, they stumble upon a chilling sight, a skeleton trapped in a swamp. Panic-stricken, one thief falls into the murky waters, consumed by fear. The scene shifts to a car where a couple, Josh and Sophia, are sitting. They are embarking on a trip, but are discontent with their married life. Upon reaching the hotel, they meet Josh's friend who arranged the trip for them, warmly welcoming them. However, a disagreement arises at the reception when Sophia asks for 2 rooms, but only one is available. This highlights the growing chasm between them, exacerbated by Josh's infidelity and drinking habits, which Sophia disapproves of. Despite Josh's desire to reconcile and improve, Sophia is resolute about separation. During dinner, their friend suggests visiting a famous spot for trekking the next day. The next morning, Sophia eagerly prepares for their trekking trip, but Josh is absent, citing his friend's urgent commitments. However, Sophia remains resolute about going, expressing her desire to visit the beautiful waterfall. Despite Josh's initial reluctance, he ultimately agrees to accompany her. They inquire about the waterfall's location at the reception and are cautioned by the manager against going there due to its reputed dangers, including snakes, swamps, and dangerous animals. The manager reiterates warnings about the place's perilous reputation, emphasizing the risks associated with venturing there. The manager advises them to take a longer route if they insist on going to the waterfall. Josh and Sophia heed his advice and opt for the longer path. Unbeknownst to them, a thief lurking nearby plans to rob them as they venture into the jungle. As Josh and Sophia begin their journey, the thief stealthily follows them in his vehicle. Along the way, they pass by several picturesque spots, silently absorbing the scenery. Eventually, they reach the starting point of their trek towards the waterfall. As they proceed, Sophia becomes fatigued and rests, but ominous clouds gather overhead, hinting at an impending storm. Josh urges Sophia to turn back, fearing the consequences of getting caught in the rain. Despite his pleas, Sophia remains determined to continue. After a brief disagreement, Sophia reluctantly agrees to return. As they make their way back to their car, Josh and Sophia suddenly hide behind a tree upon spotting the thief attempting to break into their vehicle. Josh confronts the thief alone, questioning his intentions and demanding to know what he wants. The thief retaliates by pointing a gun at Josh and asks him about Sophia's location. To protect Sophia, Josh deceitfully claims that she has been gone for some time, but the thief remains unconvinced and continues to press for the truth, threatening to shoot Josh if he doesn't comply. Fearful for their safety, Sophia emerges and surrenders her bag to the thief, raising her hands in submission. Seizing the opportunity, Josh strikes the thief with a wooden stick, causing him to fall. With the thief momentarily incapacitated, Josh and Sophia flee the scene. However, the thief quickly recovers and begins firing his weapon while pursuing them. As the rain began to pour down, Josh notices a sign indicating the path into the jungle, warning of its dangers. He instructs Sophia to take that route, reasoning that the thief would be less likely to follow. He assures her that he'll create a distraction to divert the thief's attention before rejoining her later. Following his advice, Sophia heads into the jungle and starts running. However, she trips over a thick branch, injuring her forehead and losing consciousness momentarily. Upon awakening, Sophia finds herself disoriented, unsure of her surroundings or where she needs to go. In a state of confusion, she begins to wander, hoping to find her way. Unfortunately, she loses her footing and falls into a vast swamp, unable to free herself. Calling out for help, she anxiously waits for Josh to arrive. Eventually, Josh locates Sophia and extends his hand to help her out of the swamp. However, one of Sophia's hands remains stuck deep in the muck, despite their efforts to free it. Despite their combined efforts, they struggle to dislodge her hand from the swamp's grasp. Seeing Sophia's distress, Josh immediately reacts, urging her to remain still and cautious to avoid sinking further into the swamp. Despite his warnings, Sophia, overwhelmed by fear, begins to panic and thrash about, ultimately submerging herself entirely beneath the murky water. Without hesitation, Josh leaps into action, plunging into the swamp to rescue Sophia. With deliberate movements, he carefully retrieves her from the depths, ensuring she emerges unharmed. Sophia, overcome with emotion, questions why Josh risked himself to save her, but Josh insists there's no time for discussion. Instead, he emphasizes the importance of remaining calm to prevent further danger. As they stand in the swamp, Josh advises Sophia to remain still to avoid sinking deeper. He reassures her that the swamp's vegetation can support their weight, alleviating her worries about drowning. Meanwhile, Josh's friend returns to the hotel, unaware of their predicament, while Sophia anxiously awaits their eventual rescue. They also spot some eggs in the swamp, but they do not know which animal these eggs belong to. As Sophia cautiously attempts to remove her shoes to lessen her weight in the swamp, her hand brushes against something unexpected, sending a shiver of dread down her spine. Together, she and Josh retrieve the object, only to recoil in horror at the sight of the corpse of the thief from the start of the movie who got stuck in the swamp. Now we can see what fate he met. Sophia, recognizing the signs of prolonged exposure, realizes that the thief didn't perish from drowning, but rather succumbed to starvation and dehydration after being trapped for an extended period. This grim revelation strikes fear into both Sophia and Josh, leaving them overwhelmed with despair at the realization that they too may face a similar fate. With trembling hands, Josh retrieves a bag strapped to the thief's back, discovering various items inside, including small boxes and weapons. Among the contents are another gun, a lighter, a knife, a Bible, and other provisions. As they survey the items, they ponder how they might utilize these resources to devise a plan for escape from their dire situation. Josh surveys their surroundings and spots a stone nearby, sparking an idea in their desperate minds. They decide to fashion a makeshift rope by cutting the bag into long strips and knotting them together. With a heavy stone serving as an anchor, they hope to create a lifeline that will aid their escape from the treacherous swamp. As they prepare to execute their plan, they encounter a new challenge in the form of a swarm of large, aggressive ants. Unfamiliar with these creatures, they have very painful bites that further heighten their anxiety and urgency to escape. Meanwhile, Josh's friend grows suspicious upon discovering the thief with Josh's bag. Sensing trouble, he confronts the thief, but the encounter escalates into a physical altercation, attracting the attention of the police, who promptly intervene and arrest them both. Back at the swamp, Sophia and Josh persist in their efforts to reach the stone with their improvised rope. Despite their repeated attempts, the rope falls short, leaving them frustrated and disheartened as their hopes for escape diminish with each failed throw. Josh and Sophia find themselves at a crossroads, faced with a difficult decision in their desperate bid for survival. Josh suggests sacrificing his jacket to complete the rope, and Sophia says she will do the same, a move that would provide them with a lifeline to escape the swamp, but would also expose them to the cold, potentially leading to their demise. As they contemplate their next move, Sophia notices a passing helicopter overhead, sparking a glimmer of hope in her eyes. She hastily reaches for the lighter, intending to signal for help by igniting the Bible. However, Josh intervenes, cautioning her against the futile attempt due to the wet conditions, rendering the Bible unignitable. Undeterred, Sophia suggests burning the rope instead, hoping to attract the attention of the helicopter with the flames. Josh, realizing the dire consequences of destroying their only means of escape, vehemently opposes her plan, urging her to reconsider. Despite his pleas, Sophia, gripped by fear and desperation, persists in her efforts. Josh tries to divert Sophia's attention from her desperate plan. He reminisces about their first meeting, hoping to evoke a sense of nostalgia and comfort. Sophia's emotional response momentarily breaks her focus on their dire situation, but her anguish is soon replaced by a piercing scream of pain as she feels the relentless bites of the wild ants that have climbed on her back. Reacting swiftly, Josh offers her a bottle of alcohol, urging her to apply it to repel the ants. Sophia follows his advice, finding momentary relief as the ants retreat. However, their respite is short-lived as they realize the presence of a new threat. A venomous snake slithering dangerously close to them, drawn by the scent of the nearby egg. Despite their mounting fears, Josh encourages Sophia to remain composed and resolute. He instructs her to prepare to defend themselves against the approaching snake, urging her to shoot it when it arrives close. With trembling hands, Sophia readies the gun, steeling herself for the imminent confrontation with the deadly serpent. The snake arrives close and bites Josh. Sophia swiftly takes aim and fires, injuring the creature and driving it away. Despite the danger posed by the snake's venom, Josh is reassured by Sophia's steadfast presence and her words of encouragement. Meanwhile, Josh's friend presses the thief for information, offering a valuable watch in exchange for details about Josh and Sophia's whereabouts. The thief reveals that he saw them venturing into the treacherous depths of the jungle, along a path feared by many. He recounts the fate of his friend who met his demise in the same jungle, sparking concern and urgency in Josh's friend. Locked away in jail, Josh's friend implores the police to release him, pleading for the opportunity to aid his friends in their time of need. Josh's condition worsens due to venom, prompting Sophia to make an incision in his neck to release his frozen blood and prevent the venom from reaching his brain. Despite Josh's pain and concern, Sophia remains determined to save him. Her medical expertise guides her actions, preventing further loss. Despite her exhaustion, Josh's bleeding stops, and he expresses remorse for his past mistakes. Sophia silences his apologies, granting forgiveness and understanding. With unwavering determination, Sophia vows to stand by Josh's side, refusing to leave him behind. Sophia devises a plan to use the snake's interest in its egg to lure it closer. Once the snake is close, they plan to tie the rope to it. Despite Josh's skepticism, she remains determined. Using the binoculars, Sophia spots the snake approaching from behind her. Unable to turn and face it, she relies on the reflection in the knife to aim her shot. Unfortunately, her attempt fails, and they exhaust the last bullet in the gun. As the snake crept closer, Sophia found herself in a perilous situation. Its venomous bite sent waves of pain coursing through her body, spreading poison rapidly. Just as the serpent is about to strike again, Sophia summons her courage and grasps its face tightly. Meanwhile, Josh, awakening from his stupor, seizes a knife and swiftly dispatches the snake, saving his wife from further harm. With the danger momentarily subdued, Sophia enacts her plan to use the snake as a lifeline. She ties it securely with a rope, extending its length until it reaches a nearby stone. Through persistence and effort, she manages to pull herself to safety, emerging from the swamp exhausted but relieved. Yet, Josh's condition remains serious. With poison coursing through his veins, Sophia knows they need urgent help. Summoning all her strength, she ventures forth to seek assistance, her heart heavy with fear for her husband's fate. Fortunately, their friend arrives just in time, accompanied by an ambulance and rescue team. While Sophia receives medical attention, their friend leads the search for Josh. In a moment of profound relief, Josh emerges from the shadows, alive and smiling. Reunited, husband and wife embrace, and their bond strengthened, they decide to stay together. And the movie ends here.